totally of climate crisis. Every dimension of contemporary human life is in crisis. Our food systems are in crisis, our economic systems are in crisis, our water systems are in crisis. There's nothing that you can look at and say it's fine.
Inheemse bevolking, grassroot-activisten, boeren, vissersvolk, arbeiders, eco-slachtoffers, artiesten en wetenschappers komen samen om elkaar te onderwijzen en inspireren.
This multiple crisis is also an interconnected crisis. The crises in every aspect are because of similar common roots. And some of those common roots were pointed out. Many of those common roots are further developed in our knowledge manifesto, which says the roots are basically in the lack of holistic knowledge and a mechanistic worldview are at the root of the multiple crises humanity faces. Through our minds, which have been made reductionist, fragmented, mechanistic, these crises multiply, and every solution creates the problem worse, because it comes from that reductionist and mechanistic mind.
Terwijl de onafhankelijke media zijn werk doet en mensen gedachten uitwisselen over een lezing, ga ik naar de volkskeuken. Hier wordt organisch voedsel uit eigen streek verstrekt aan iedereen die honger heeft. Eet zoveel je wil en doneer wat je kan. Na een lekkere hap is het tijd voor een spirituele sessie van de Brahma Kumaris, World Spiritual University.
Do we have an energy crisis, a technical crisis, or do we have a crisis also of our consciousness? And the environmental pollution which we see is partly also our mental pollution. And here is it where we should think a bit back on the ancient approach which says mind is above matter and mind has the creative power to really influence and change things also.
I wanted to just comment on in terms of this idea of meditation and looking inward, is that, you know, a lot of times there's so much going on in the world that we're constantly looking around and getting distracted as to, oh, should I be doing that, should I be doing that, what's the answer, is that the answer, is this the answer? And, you know, one of the things that I've been thinking about through this conference is that, you know, we're all doing amazing work, you know, whether it be through, you know, solar power energy, whether it be through community groups, organic farming, and each of those actions and activities is incredibly essential, you know, to the overall whole and evolution of it all.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm not just here to stop climate change. I'm here because I want justice for the poor. I'm here because I want greater control of key resources for communities. I want to see containment of corporate power. I want to see justice for workers. I want to see a world where migrants from the south can come to the north without having to hide in trucks and get beaten up at the border. I want to see a world basically where ideally capitalism doesn't exist.
Ik reis met een groepje Belgische activisten naar een eco-village waar een community zorg draagt voor elkaar en omgeving. Hoe werkt dat? Doet iedereen alles of heb je eigen taken? En zet je die in roosters? We leggen het voor aan een bewoonster.
Like the snow, there's also a group that takes care of mowing the lawn in the summer and cleaning the snow. And in a year where there's no snow, they don't work many hours. But when it comes like this, they're up at 5 o'clock in the morning, taking the snow away. And it could be really hard work for. I'm in the IT group, and sometimes we work a lot if there are problems or we want to implement something new. Like now we have changed all our computers to computers with low energy consumption, and we have had a lot of work for that. So it's nothing about how many hours we have to work, but more about
the job is
what the job is, and it has to be done.
And still we're more, I think, interested in this social part of the community. Do you have any kind of, are you educate your people in like
basic ideas.
Yes, on ideas of what ecological community life would mean to you, and
share
what
about this, like ideals or things. Why you
just
come
everybody
here?
can do whatever they want.
Like that?
Everybody can do whatever they want,
Okay.
actually.
All right. Okay.
Of course, the only thing that people cannot do, we have our own sewer treatment. You cannot put chlorine. You can only buy special kind of detergents and things like that, because you will spoil the whole system.
Yeah.
But else people can do whatever they want. But people who come here basically want to live like this.
Ik ben blij om te zien dat mensen op micro- en macroniveau bezig zijn met zelfheling, zelforganisatie en zelfredzaamheid en het koesteren van het leven. In 2 weken tijd zijn er meer dan 3200 verschillende demonstraties en acties voor juridische bescherming van natuur, 1 miljoen groene banen en soevereiniteit voor inheemse bevolking en culturen. Als boeddhist en activist neem ik hier waar dat we eigenlijk iets doen wat wij in boeddhisme Jigyo Keta noemen. Practice for oneself and others. Het gaat niet om het alleen voor jezelf doen. Het gaat niet uit liefdadigheid het voor een ander doen. Het gaat erom dat we samenwerken en de manier waarop we de ruimte vullen tussen zelf en de ander, dat er echt toe doet.
Networks are about voluntary association. You get together to give your best, to make something bigger than what you are.
People can have a greater participation in life, and that people are not excluded from life.
600 million people will not have access to water. So there are African countries out there and African civil society groups who need us to really say that that deal is death to Africa. That is climate genocide.
Not only as the youth, as the indigenous people, as the international NGOs, as the justice networks, as Global South or Global North, but also stand together as one people.